Hello, my name is Aidon, and I play Kult, the meta Silverfang Philodox.
Hello, I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and I play Penthesilea, the Lupus Black Fury Theurge.
Hello, I'm Solomon, and I play Thomas, the Hamid Glasswalker Ragabash.
Hello, I'm Grizz. I play Ramsey, the Homid Stargazer Alrune.
And I am Legacy, and I am your storyteller for the evening. When people think of corporate profits and unabashed greed in underdeveloped and underserved areas of the world, they think of trees felled, natural wonders destroyed, and mass extinction events. But there's another cost, another risk that is less easily seen, less readily felt, but no less impactful. The most relied upon, but the least considered of the elements, is air. Air is a precious, often undervalued resource. It's in our lungs, it's carried by our blood to our heart, and it is one of the 3 building blocks of the layer that protects the world from the worst of the sun's radiation. Like other aspects of the natural world, however, it is readily destroyed by greed and corporations, privileging profit over the health of our planet. As machines rip down swaths of forests, pollution strips away the ozone layer, and wildfires leave no plant life to take the poison expelled by our lungs and convert it into something breathable, something livable. One is forced to wonder how long profit will win out over stability. Is there a way to stem the bleeding and return our air to something livable, or will the planet die gasping? Tonight, we continue our story of a pack grasping for air. Good evening, players.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Where we last left off, y'all had decided to take your captive in for a little bit of questioning. Holt draining this black spiral dancer of knowledge to see whereabouts he might be able to find the corporation that has been tearing down resources. Thomas, going in for his own form of questioning, took the life of the black spiral dancer after everything was said and done. Meanwhile, Penn and Ramsey went to Josephine's aid and helped her kind of recoup. And she had offered to bring you all back home. Penn offering to put her in sort of a witness protection program while they figured things out. Josephine obviously was a bit skeptical, but at the end of the day, she didn't have much of a choice and accepted the offer and led you all back as a thank you for saving her life by offering to feed you and let you have a warm place to stay for the evening. As you were all kind of unwinding and getting ready for a good night's rest, Penn had a moment of almost clarity where she found out that there might be something bigger going on in places that seem almost out of reach when she had a vision of snow turning to heat. And Thomas found out that his phone, while in a place such as a tropical rainforest, doesn't hold battery the way that it should. And you decide that while you're waiting for your person to come and collect Josephine to also get some supplies, you all make your way to the local village, which is about a 2-hour walk from where you are. And they remind Kult that he has horns and should probably stay back. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. You guys are in this village, and a truck had just pulled in, and it looks like that it's the supply truck that you were promised as a sort of payment in kind for bringing another woman who needed protection in. Can I ask who still has health damage from our last time?
Me. Right here.
All right. Does Ramsey and Penn? How about you, the two of you?
I'm bruised.
Okay.
I think. No, I don't remember the conversation, but I think Josephine healed me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you got healed by Josephine, and I just rolled with being wounded for a while.
Yeah.
Colt almost died, but then I believe Penn healed him fully, so I'm fine.
Okay, perfect. So as you guys are waiting and watching, a bright young woman with like kind of crop brown hair, and she's wearing a bit of a crop top and pair of black, almost like a kind of like cargo pants. She gets out of the truck, and she begins to go into the back and pulls out medical packs, batteries, and like tents. Very basic survival gear, things that you would need. She looks at the three of you, Kult not being there at the moment, and she offers a warm smile. I'm going to assume that you are Penn? And she's gonna point to you.
That's me.
All right, so I'm here for pickup. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And I'll kind of turn towards Josie.
Josephine offers you a grateful and courteous smile, and she'll grab your hands and kind of rest them on her forehead. And you speak Portuguese, correct?
I do.
Okay. She is going to lean in and very quietly whisper in Portuguese to you. May the winds protect you. And then she'll let your hands go. And she'll let the young woman who came in guide her to the truck and get her settled in. You hear a little bit of mumbling back and forth between the two. And then she goes and grabs one more supply pack and kind of drops it at your guys' feet. Well, that's everything that we have. There's some medical kits. There's some... Holy hell, you look like shit, as her eyes kind of glance up to Thomas.
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Oh, are you sure? You look
No,
like...
not at all.
Okay, awesome.
I'll look after him. He'll be alright.
Alright, yeah. Medical supplies, food, clean water, tents, and battery packs for cell phones.
Hey.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I don't know what's going on with you guys, but good luck out there. Yeah. And she'll kind of like awkwardly scratch the back of her neck, wave, and then take off. Ken and Ramsey, you guys can pretty much smell your own. This girl, obviously not the greatest at social situations, wants to get out of there as soon as possible.
It
So
looks
she
vaguely like she wishes she could have gone with her. Like, I'm also not good at social situations.
She hops back into the truck, gives you guys one more courteous salute, and you see the truck kind of awkwardly begin to do a 3-point turn, and because the village is kind of like tight and like compact together, so it's starting a 3-point turn. You hear a little shit come out of the car, and then it's just like a 5-minute show of her trying to get this giant truck turned around before she finally takes off, honks the horn, waves, and the truck is
what was a 3-point turn became like a 20-point turn?
Yes.
Thomas is just like, don't Austin Powers it, don't Austin Powers it.
So, you guys have a couple of crates worth of supplies. You had asked for relatively basic stuff, nothing too special other than extra packs to charge phones or electronics or what have you. Thomas,
Yes.
your phone is almost dead, but you have a single bar here.
Well, first off, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into one of the rechargeable packs.
Sure.
And then I'm going to, first off, immediately send off the pictures and of Kult and Penthesilea being all sappy to my Ragabash meme group chat, as well as the video of the old lady riding on a fully wolfed out Ramsey. And then I'm going to look around and say, all right, so I have a little bit of signals here. Do we need any other backup or anything?
I don't have anyone else to call.
Ramsey is carefully organizing as much as he can from the 2 crates into his pack, and he's just shaking his head now.
Colt, you got anything?
Colt's not there.
Oh, that's right. In that case, Thomas will also go ahead and do a quick search for any sort of business or companies that are working this far out into the Amazon. See if maybe he can figure out a little more about the like mortal side or like the mortal story of what's going on behind all of this shit. So maybe understand what exactly they're walking into.
Okay. And my apologies. How were you going about that again?
I was going to use my mobile data on my phone.
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, it's a fairly quick Google search, right? You type in, I assume that you type in like something along the lines of construction projects near Amazon.
Yeah.
And you see a couple of things. You see that that there is a research facility somewhere in one of the local universities of Brazil doing a research project on pollution, ways to kind of cut back on the carbon footprint. You see that there are projects of kids going into the forest to collect like rare species of bugs. The one thing that does catch your eye is local cosmetics company to open factory, taking down resources. It's from one of those, type of sites, the ones that are kind of like the hippies or people who are very like hyper concerned about the environment, people that don't tend to be taken seriously, but they go into a brief description of a company, the umbrella company being known as Pentex has decided that it's going to open up a cosmetics company, and it is opening it up within South America, specifically towards the rainforest to kind of save on costs. It's rumored that they're trying to steal animals for testing, as ways to kind of cut back on production of like getting a bunch of rabbits or whatnot, or even being ethical in their testing procedures. You see a couple of testimonials from people from the actual surrounding area itself, people showing their concern for another big company coming in, especially because a recently shipping corporation that provides lots of goods and kind of cheaply made stuff had just opened up recently, and people are actively more concerned.
Understandable.
The one other thing is that someone is rumored to be doing a protest in one specific clearing spot that they're trying to bulldoze through. And there might be a couple of protesters there to try to stop it. But again, you can kind of get the gist that it's just normal people trying to go down and like almost like tie themselves to trees type of protest.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while you are all taking a minute to go through the crates and kind of sort out supplies and such, Kult,
Hello.
what are you doing while they're going about and getting everything like that situated?
Well, I think Colt is just waiting on the side of the road outside the village, and I believe I made a little snow pile to kind of just sit in and relax for a bit. So I think Colt is just going to be sat there waiting for the others to return, and maybe a little bit mopey that he wasn't allowed to have some fun in the village.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and roll
Absolutely.
me a wits and alertness at standard difficulty?
Ooh. I really should put something in alertness.
Might help.
Yep.
Nah, it's fine. It's completely fine.
One success.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Everything seems normal.
Love it.
Eventually. We'll kind of skip time unless there's anything that the three of you wanted to do while you were still in this village.
I didn't have anything aside from getting my phone charged.
No, I'm good.
No, Ramsey just makes sure the vast amount of the bulk is in his pack, so doesn't slow everybody else down. That's about it.
All right, perfect. So then you all eventually make your way back to Kult, who's probably playing in a pile of snow.
Is that relaxing? More like.
And did you all splitting up the camp supplies, I assume that you guys saved like stuff for him as well.
Yeah. I made sure that
honestly,
we'd have enough.
there were certain things that Penn asked for that were specifically for him, like clothes.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yep. So
Because his suit is ruined.
Yeah, it is. So Kult, you have been gifted.
Proper clothes.
They are. It's kind of shabby. It's you know the cargo shorts with the giant pockets, like the stuff that your friends are wearing. It's like that, and then a tank top and a pair of sneakers.
Congratulations,
does Penn...
you've been handed BDUs.
When Kult sees this, he kind of just stares at them for a moment and then stares at Penn, and back at the clothes, and back at Penn. Sorry, these are for me.
Yes.
Okay. Is there maybe a jacket with it?
It's nearly 100 degrees and humid.
This is a tank top.
Penn looks down at her outfit, which is BDUs and a tank top.
And it looks fantastic on you. But on me?
Are you really talking aesthetics when we're in the Amazon?
Hey.
Here's the reality. We're going to be hoofing it through some pretty rough country. We're probably going to have to run and climb at points, and you can't move right in that, and she will point at the suit. Eventually, it's going to become a liability. I'd rather you be in decent clothes.
Is there anyone on the road other than us right now?
Not that you can see with one success.
In that case, he just kind of listens to Penn and then thinks for a moment, and then just starts unbuckling his belt and just begins to get naked on the road and begins to change into the other clothes. But he will take his long jacket and rip off the sleeves and then put that over the tank top. So it's just like a sleeveless long coat now.
Classy.
Penn puts her back to him the second he starts stripping, because this isn't quite what she had in mind. She was like, I was not thinking that we'd be doing this here, but okay.
What do you think?
You look a little bit less like a jackass.
Honestly, probably the best compliment I've got from any of you. I'll take it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's on the agenda? Did you get everything? Everything sorted away?
Ramsey just kind of not so gently just pushes a pack into you. That's your share. Let's get moving.
Righto.
Do you have an ETA on the time to reach the construction site?
How far away did my Google search tell me that it would be from where we are?
There wasn't a direct answer. But with a quick map search, you can tell that the construction site, thankfully, is relatively a bit of a distance away from this village. It's sort of almost in the middle of it's in the middle of almost nothing. There are stretches and stretches and miles of land in Brazil that just have nothing but wildlife and like swamplands, parts that are preserved specifically to preserve what's left of the ozone layer.
Right.
And it's almost right outside of like one of those protected areas. It's going to take you guys walking probably about a day and a half to find it, and that's if your GPS both stays up and you don't get lost.
But we're also not going there first, right? We're going to look for the boy first. Because
Yeah,
he
I think
knows more
that
about-
was the general plan.
No, I just wanted a general locale on the construction site, but we still have a chance to look at it with service.
Right.
All right.
Also, apparently there's going to be some people there protesting, because of course there are. Can't have things be simple and clean.
Never. But general location on the boy and time to that. Try to figure out if we have time to get a good distance before camping.
Yeah. It's still relatively early in the morning. So you guys are pretty good on time. Local time. Thomas, you can see. It's about this would be in military time. It's about 11:47. So you still have a good chunk of the day left. So you want to go and find. You want to start searching for the boy from Penn's vision.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Um,
let's start.
Before we start doing rolls and stuff, though, Penn's gonna kind of. She's tying her hair up, and she kind of looks around thoughtfully, and then looks over at Ramsey. Would you be willing to carry my bag? I'm a better tracker if I'm in my normal form.
His response, it isn't a response. It's just to take your pack and tie it to the top of his and shoulder both of them.
Thank you.
Ramsey, could you take
Yes.
my pack as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot what a prat he is. That was out of character, by the way. It just,
I mean, no, but he just says no and crosses his arms and waits.
Penn will walk towards the tree line because she's not going to shift into a wolf where humans can see her.
Yep.
All right. So you make your way to the tree line. And what form are you taking?
Lupus.
Lupus.
Oh wait,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt. How much water did they give us?
It looks like that they gave you all about like 3 1-gallon jugs each. So these bags that they provided you with too are heavy duty and very large.
Heavy as fuck. Also, I would imagine, like, because they're pretty standard issue in any survival pack, like the water, the tablets that you can drop into water to clean it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like I said, anything that you would need for basic survival are in these backpacks for you guys.
Why do you think I asked Ramsey to carry the bag? Because there was water in it.
All right. So, if you want to make the check to begin to shift, or you can spend
That's my natural form. I don't have to do anything. It just happens.
Correct. Yep. So yeah, you begin to kind of meditate, and allow yourself to transform. into your lupus form, which is your full wolf. And you are going to begin. And how do you plan on tracking this boy down?
So we were given a general area where we'd be able to find him. I would assume that, like, the first part is just getting there. And Pen's instincts are, generally not nearly as muddled if she's lupus. But while she's going along the way, she's doing things like watching for tracks and sniffing for scents that don't seem like they belong. That sort of thing. Trying to pick up on anything incongruous to follow it, because the boy in her visions definitely didn't look like he came from around here, so his scent would probably almost feel wrong to her based on the area that it's in, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to have you make a couple of checks for me.
And once we get closer, if she sees aminals, she'll stop and talk to them. But
animals. Okay.
Aminals.
So the first thing that I'm going to have you do is I want you to roll me I'm going to give you a good one. Let's do perception and survival.
Excellent. This is like one of my better.
And because your difficulty, because you have a -2 difficulty, it will be a difficulty 4.
Hold on. I have to remember what the thing is. Is it just dice roll?
Yes, it's / dice roll.
Right. 4 and 7, and I'm sorry, what did you say about the difficulty?
The difficulty would be at a 4 because you have a -2 to your difficulty.
Okay.
Because you got the great sniffer.
I do. I'm very good at sniffing. Sorry, I'm looking at my sheet. It's the first time in a hot minute I've had to look at my sheet to figure out if there's anything I have that affects stuff. 3 successes.
All right.
Oh, wait, 4, because you don't do botches.
Right.
Taking away. 4 successes.
Okay. So you begin to kind of sniff around and try to pull on some tracks. It takes you a good while. There are a lot of smells in the Amazon, between animals that were there but haven't been there in a while, the plant life, the heavy musk just in the air. It's a lot on the senses. But after a good 20 minutes, you actually manage to pick up on the smell is light. It's not anything particularly decent smelling, but you pick the smell up of bird. And you know what I mean when that it's that bird smell. And it seems to continue on for a while. Your nose kind of latches onto it, and you begin to do a straight shot forward. Let me see. Do you have anything in... You do have Animal Ken.
Yes.
Go ahead and make me an Intelligence and Animal Ken check. Standard difficulty.
Okay, does creative logic apply at all?
It does not.
Okay. Remind me what standard is in 20th?
It is 6.
6. 2.
I will give it to you. You know that this smell couldn't be here. It's again that light, almost city smell, and you point your nose in the air, and the reason that it feels so wrong is because it's a city pigeon. Something that does not belong in the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, so I think when she starts looking and she picks up on it and starts following it at first and it hits her what it is, she'll kind of pause and like do that thing where she kind of stops and turns and does like a big circle for a moment and then like circles back to the pack and sniffs specifically at Thomas's Thomas's leg for a moment and then does that like that sneeze that dogs do.
Yep.
And then follows it again because she's just like, okay, I'm confirming that city the city scents are similar. So
the
fair.
city stench fills your nose, and yeah, it's almost like a one-on-one match. Like Thomas reeks of civilization. So does Kult, which is again a little bit bizarre given his condition. But that smell in the air, that bird, as you kind of pinpoint that the two are matching, you begin to kind of, I assume that you're now gonna like follow that scent.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, wonderful. You start to follow that scent, and the closer that you get to a cleared out patch of land, like it looks like that there was recent construction on this one patch, the stronger that scent of pigeon gets. At this point, you can kind of almost taste it on your tongue. It's so strong. It is unfortunately not tasting of chicken, so. But you eventually make it to this little cleared out section and take in one final sniff. Ramsey, Kult, Thomas, I want you all to make me perception and alertness checks, standard difficulty.
You do not want me to make this check, I assume.
Yeah, no, you're too busy sniffing.
Okay.
I believe that's a botch or a epic fail.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Bring it on.
Hey, I got a success. Look, I did
these checks concern me.
I got a singular success.
Okay.
I
Well,
apologize. What are we rolling for, or is it just them?
nope. It's used well. Perception and alertness.
Oh,
Standard
goody.
difficulty. If you have anything that helps with hearing, you can add that.
Oh boy, I sure don't. All right, not a bad roll. Here we go. Great.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes the dice just say no.
Okay, so
Jesus.
We're watching
I mean,
a
it's
stink
still-
beetle in the corner.
That's still one.
yeah, that is
That is
still
one.
one.
Hi.
Before I get to the two who technically succeeded, I'm gonna start with Kult.
Makes sense. Work our way up.
Yep.
Not that up is very far in this case, but yeah.
It's a step ladder, but you know.
Oh my god. Okay.
I walk off a cliff.
Kult, as she's sniffing you, the three of you begin to kind of like hone in and see if you can hear anything that might point to what she might be sniffing at, because none of you are communicating with her right now. You hear the three of you hear like birds and like the little like pitter pattering of like tiny like legs moving, probably from bugs. You hear the sound of like chameleons going in and like trying to like collect food for the evening. Kult, you become so enveloped with the sounds that are quite frankly very distracting to you. I am going to label you as surprised for the next set of events that come through. So keep that in mind. You're not going to see what's coming.
Love it.
Thomas and Grizz, you guys actually do after a while pick up on what she's smelling, and Pen, you see this now. There's a pigeon who's kind of flapping around, looks down, and you guys just see a little piece of bird poop just land on Cult's shoulder. Right on the sleeve that he just ripped off of his coat in order to make sleeves for himself.
Wait, did he use his coat to make sleeves for the thing, or I thought he
No.
removed them so that he was wearing like a sleeveless jacket?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's on his arm.
Yeah. Yep.
Even better.
So Pen just sort of sits and like looks up at the pigeon and like tilts her head. And I guess the pigeon would hear, that's nice.
And you see it kind of perk up and look around. It then lands on Cult's horn and uses it as a perch. And kind of looks around the lot of you. Who's that? Who said that?
I'll kind of bark at it. It's like that rawr, rawr.
Kult, at this point you see shit on your shoulder and you see a bird using these as a perch.
You can see Cult's getting angrier and angrier, and you've seen what Kult can do, and there's like a bit of heat beginning to emanate from his body a little bit now, like heat waves. This chicken just shit on my arm.
I'm pretty sure karmically you probably deserved at least that. But leave it alone.
No time for jokes. Get it off my horns, someone. Now.
I think Pen's having a conversation with us, so just chill.
Kult will hold you. Kult will just make fists and just hold still as a pen begins to bark at his head or his horns.
Yeah. She the little pigeon looks down and does the head tilt a head tilt, and then anybody who's close enough to see it, which isn't any of you unless you guys are like right on top of Kult, the eyes, like the pupils kind of dilate and then go back to normal. Pardon me, how, you can hear me?
I can.
Who are you?
My name is Pen. Are you Thomas?
I am not Thomas.
Or
I'm
Thomas's friend? No, I'm sorry. What was the guy's name out of character?
His name...
I forgot.
I gotta
been
pull it up.
over a month. I'm sorry.
No,
Did
I
we
know.
get his name? Did we actually get his name?
Oh, I
Yes,
don't
we
think
did.
you guys did. I just gotta find it. It's been a month.
The hottest of minutes.
Listen. Oh god, I can't find his name anywhere. Well, you know what? We'll just make it up as we go along. That's the beauty of tabletop games.
Jimothy.
Actually, his name was Tim.
Tim. There are some who
Dante.
call me Tim.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The name was call him Dante or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I am not, but that is my handler.
Can you take him or take us to him?
Oh, I do not know where he is either. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw him?
Yeah. Maybe. Oh. Three moons ago?
3 months?
3 moons.
So 3 days.
And then does a little like nod, or like it pushes its head forward to like confirm. I can take you to last known place, if that will help.
Yes, please.
Okay. And the bird rips from Kult's head and begins taking off. Funny enough, going the direction that you were able to track it using your nose.
I'm following. I will kind of bark
Kult
at the
will,
others and take off after it.
Kult will take out his drinking water and just clean off the poop from his arm.
There are better uses for that water than cleaning, but you do you, I guess.
I'll be fine.
Again, the walk is long and it's hot. The sun, as it's getting later in the day, is picking up, and the heat. You can almost feel the water particles building up in your necks again, especially those with longer hair. Pen, you can't help but your tongue falling out, and you begin panting. It's a borderline miserable for anybody who's wearing anything heavy.
At least I'm double coated. Double coats help regulate heat.
Yep.
Weird how they can both keep you warm and cool.
Oh yeah.
The miracle of life and dogs. But you eventually, with the help of a new friend, find yourselves in another, not destroyed patch of land, but lived in, and you can tell that there are signs of movement everywhere in this little area. Tents were left abandoned. Camping supplies were up and either rushly packed where people forgot some stuff, or maybe abandoned altogether as well. There's a tent. There's one place that they built a fire. And in this camp, you can see that there's a table that was used as a writing desk, and some sprawled out papers of if you look at the table, it looks like almost research journals. Letters to Pentex, environmental protection signs, and a number of other small bits and baubles here and there. The pigeon looks down at you, Pen. Lespot.
I'm sniffing around.
Okay. When you sniff around, you can tell that there was obvious foot traffic of at least 3 people. You can smell the different scents, cooked food, the burnt embers, that smell that kind of lingers there for another day after you had a big fire. And it seems recently inhabited, but not super recent.
Do I have any sense of where or am I picking up on a person's scent at all?
With the successes that you got earlier, you definitely, like I said, you picked up on a couple people. One actually has a bit of a scent of heavy cologne that seems slightly out of place. It smells like a dark, basically colognes that are meant to copycats of leather scents, burgundy, or a bourbon almost cologne, very masculine smelling.
Try hard cologne, got it.
Yeah.
Pen will again kind of sneeze when she smells it, but that she's gonna keep following it and try and figure out where the hell it went.
As you begin to follow that scent trail,
I know it's old, so she may not be able to, but she'll try, and then she'll before she leaves the area, she'll kind of pause and look up at the pigeon. Could you stay here for a minute? I may need to come back, and I'd like to ask you some questions.
Tosses its head to the side before giving that confirming kind of nod forward.
Okay.
So you begin to follow the scent trail. Is anybody going with her?
I'll go with her.
Okay. Ramsey and Kult.
Well, Cole doesn't really know what's going on. He just knows that we're following what he likes to call the chicken now. So I guess he stays next to the chicken and considering plucking it.
He's doing the wiser thing and choosing not to leave Kult by himself.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
All right. Thomas and Penn, you two make your way out to go and. Thomas, you don't quite know what's going on. But Penn seems to be following some form of scent trail. The scent trail is light. You can tell that whatever musk it is that's in the air is rapidly dying. It's cologne. It's not supposed to last super long anyway, but you have the super sniffer, so you're able to pick up. So you're able to pick up on like any lingering scent marks. It also makes you think about how massive this forest actually is, because just as you think that you're getting somewhere with that trail, another scent hits you, and it's the scent of like cooking meat, and then it smells again of like heavy rainfall and dew on tree lines and plants, and then another scent of like birds that do belong here. About after 15 minutes of travel, that scent completely dies down, but you now have a marking point of where to begin possibly finding this gentleman.
Okay. Pen will kind of pause, and she does that thing where she circles again for a moment, and then kind of like goes over to like a low branch that's kind of mostly fallen off of one of the trees and like grabs it with her teeth, to pull it down, and then like kind of lays it purposefully where we've been walking so that it's like incongruous and clearly not meant to be there, because it's a good marker for her for later.
Yeah.
And then she'll kind of look back at Thomas like she's only just now realizing that he like is still there, like that he followed her. And she'll give a little like huff again, and like nudge his leg with her nose, and then head back towards where we left everybody.
Thomas will just continue to follow along, figuring that she's got the sniffer, so it's best to stick with her. He is going to like unshoulder his rifle at this point, but he has reloaded with regular ammunition because he figures that if what we're dealing with was going to be Black Spiral Dancer, then they wouldn't have that try hard shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he figures that it's either human or vampire, and vampires don't give a shit about silver generally.
Right.
ST.
Yes.
In that time that they were gone, after a little bit, I think Kult would try and climb a tree to the very top, just to see, once you get over the trees itself, if he could see anything in general, movement, smoke, things that are shining, any buildings, just anything, other than more trees.
Yeah, totally. Let me just take a look at your sheet really fast. Climbing a tree, relatively easy.
Just real quick, Ramsey's like, if you're doing that, be careful not to disturb the birds. Give away our position.
Gotcha. And they'll probably shit all over me again.
And watch out for the howling monkeys.
The what? And then he just keeps going.
Oh, you'll find them. I'm sure of it.
Climb up a tree. As you begin to climb up the tree, I'll have you go ahead and make me another perception and alertness check. This time at a difficulty of 5. Because you got ground coverage.
Could I argue investigation?
I'll allow it.
Hell yeah. Four successes.
There you go. You're and is there anything in particular that you were looking for?
No, not really. Just anything that might stick out. Buildings, smoke, shines of metal like light, glittering, movement. Just anything that might not be normal, or just more trees and plants.
Okay. All right. As you are peering around, you do notice one thing. And this one thing looks to be out of place. As you're kind of peering around, you see a piece of silver, kind of glimmering in the sunlight, about 20 feet from camp.
From where we are now.
From where you are now, yes.
Okay, and it's not moving.
No, but it's shiny and glimmering.
Okay. In that case, Kult will climb down and look to Ramsey and just say, as he kind of jumps down the last part, I think I actually saw something shining close by. You gonna go take a look with me?
Not without the others.
Okay, we'll wait for him. And I just kind of sit down again next to the chicken and wait for the others.
You two eventually make your way back. And do you share your discovery with the other two that come back?
Yeah, as soon as they come back, Kult would tell them exactly what he saw and just tells them that if they want to go check it out with him.
I mean, some shining, then maybe that could be a good lead. But he will Thomas will look to Penthesilea as well, just to see what she thinks.
She'll incline her head, and sort of turn and look at turn and look up at the pigeon, and then look back at them, and she'll kind of again do a little woof noise and nudge at Kult and Thomas in the direction that Kult mentioned. Kind of give them the go ahead that they can go. She's gonna stay and talk to the pigeon. So
in that case,
All right.
Kult will just set off in that direction then.
Kult, before I ask, are you in your Hamid form still?
Yep.
Okay.
Before you go, leave your packs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank God. And he throws his pack on the ground.
Thud.
Not to rush you, but given the time frame that we have for the rest of the day, you have about 3 hours before I actually have to come and look for you. I don't want you guys out there in the dark.
Yeah, I don't want to be out here in the dark. That seems like a bad time.
We will start with the exploration group. Kult and Thomas, you two are Kult leads Thomas in the direction that he saw the glimmering object. Even with that many successes, because you were so high up, it was a little bit hard to pinpoint what exactly it is. But as you make your way towards the thing, it kind of dawns on you that whatever it is that this person did, they might have had some sort of awareness of what he was possibly dealing with. You pick up the object, and it's a beautiful like fountain pen, dipped and laced in silver and gold, and there's little specks of blood on both sides, the tip and the bottom of it. The blood is dried up and begins kind of flaking off the more that you run your hands through it to kind of get a feel. And then right next to it is a letter. It just says to A, and then that's all you can kind of get from because it's in an envelope. So that's all you get from the envelope. It just says to A, and then something else, but it looks like that kind of trailed off.
This is a closed envelope?
Yes.
Kult will just open it then.
Inside the envelope, there seems to be some money, American dollar bills, and the letter is in a fine-tuned cursive, and it just says, Anna, I long for the day where we can dance together again. Every night in this Amazon is another battle of the environment around me. But my research is almost complete, and I think we can put a stop to whatever's been happening in these lands. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there for the birth of our daughter, but this is important to me too. Tell Rebecca that I love her, and I can't wait to see her again, where we can all be a family. And then in very tiny letters on the bottom, it says, I think they might be after me.
I think reading that, Thomas might see that for the first time, really, Kult is showing some like real emotion. As his face kind of drops, the more he reads, and it's just like at a moment of reading through this letter, something just kind of triggers him, and instantly he just looks really saddened. But then quickly he folds up the letter. Guess maybe show this to the others, yeah?
Sure. Thomas is keeping his head on basically like a swivel because he doesn't like being even like very far from the group as a whole, especially this far out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Nothing seems to be disrupting the two of you, other than some birds maybe flying by, maybe swooping a little bit low to see if they can gauge a reaction. But other than that, it seems perfectly fine.
Kult, just because he's curious, he'll just unscrew the pen and just see if there's anything that's been like stashed inside the pen over that is not normal.
Yeah. It looks like the pen itself just has black ink. It's one of those like fountain pens where the only thing that can really fit in there is the actual like ink cartridge itself.
You said it was made of silver, yeah?
Yeah.
In that case, he just kind of places it in Thomas's pocket and just says, you can carry that one.
What do I have to
And-
carry? Goddamn silver.
I mean, you brought it, so you can handle it. And then he just walks off.
Fine, and he will continue. He will walk along as well. Though he is also going to be looking over this pen because he's kind of thinking like, why would he have just randomly left a pen? So he's looking to see if maybe there's like a hidden USB in it or something.
You know what? Give me a straight perception roll.
Okie dokie. And I actually am going to spend a point of willpower to get an automatic success, just because I'm curious.
Sure.
Well, okay, then that's 4 successes.
Cool. Just a skim on the inside. Kult thought that it was just a normal fountain pen. I'll say with 4 successes, you do manage to find one thing that seems a little bit off. And the only reason why I'm giving this to you is because you're the technology person in the group.
Makes sense.
Inside there seems to be, those little tiny like USB chips, the ones that go into like wireless mice and stuff to connect the USB to the actual like to connect
Dongles.
the computer. Yes.
They're called dongles.
The dongle.
Yeah. It is tiny, but you find one of those.
That's what I thought.
Penn and Ramsey, you're on bird duty. Bird kind of shifts back and perches on a piece of wood and kind of looks at you with it lays its eyes on you and it doesn't take its eyes off of you, Penn, and it kind of tilts its head from one side to another and then kind of whips its head from one side to the other, hops on the ground, pecks at some leftover food, but it's very pointedly keeping its whole body face towards you.
Okay. Well, Penn will sit and kind of watch it for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You said he's your handler?
Yes. Handler. Gives treats. Delicious.
Can
Nobody
I-
gives.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nobody gives treats. In this big forest.
Can I make some sort of a check to tell if this is all like an act and they're like a shapeshifter that's pretending to just be a bird? Can't tell if that's a-
Give
I was like, I
me
can't tell if that's a genuine laugh or what.
Yeah,
Wahaha.
I forgot what we said would be used for stuff like that.
Well, I have both empathy and animal camp, so I'd assume it's one of those.
I'll say give me wit. We'll go wit and empathy.
Okay, what's the difficulty?
It's going to be 7.
Ooh.
Oh, higher than usual, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can do... Is it 20th you can spend a willpower for an auto success?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Because this is not my best pool ever. Two successes.
Okay. It's hard to get a grasp on. A lot of the behaviors of this bird scream that maybe it could be something that it's not, but then a lot of the behaviors also just seem like that in line with like a bird that's been trained to perform
Right.
like one specific
A bird
task or
that's been
another.
exceptionally well socialized.
Yeah.
Okay. We're looking for him because we are here to deal with the bad people who are building and pulling down trees and taking people. And I had a dream about him. Told that he was fighting the same people.
Tim fights bad people for wife.
Do you know where she is?
Home.
Where's home?
Home.
Far away?
Yes. Not from here.
Okay.
Big metal tree. Many
Building.
big metal trees.
Yeah, buildings. Okay.
He is he
Did you
is
see- Go ahead, sorry.
friend of nature. Friend of earth around him. Make tree grow. Blink of an eye.
Okay. Did you ever see him turn into something like me?
Not like you.
Could he turn into animals? Or was he always a man?
Always man. But good could talk to me.
Okay.
Could talk to you.
Could he come out at night? Or I'm sorry, could he only come out at night, or could he come out in the sun too?
Sun.
Okay.
Train time. Tree time. Sun.
Okay. Did you see somebody take him, or did he just leave and not come back?
Big thing. Mean.
Furry?
No. Well, yes, but no. Giant, pointy teeth.
Okay.
Nighttime.
Giant thing with fur, but not as much fur as me, I guess.
Yes.
What color?
And you see the pigeon kind of look around, and it dips its head down and pulls up like a sheet of like white paper, not like a full sheet, like a little torn off piece, and kind of like right in front of you. Color, right?
White.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Said here for nice meeting. Master sent me to fly around. I come back, he gone.
Okay. I'm going to turn into a person. I'll still be able to talk to you, but I don't want you to get scared.
Person, like
Human.
Like friend.
Like friend, yes.
At the sight of friend, he looks at Ramsey.
He's also a friend. He's just quiet and big.
Ramsey the bird approaches you.
He doesn't have the packs anymore, so he just like kind of like slowly drops down. So he's just kind of like on bent knee.
Yep.
And he'll reach into one of the pouches on his vest and just pull out a pack of crackers and just put them on the ground.
Ramsey, you can instantly tell that you probably just made a friend for life, and life might be years or days. Starts pecking at the crackers. Pen, you can hear the little guy say, "You talk, you talk, you talk." Peck. Peck.
Pen will approvingly kind of headbutt Ramsey's shoulder. It's that you're a friend kind of doggy gesture.
Yeah. He'll just like nod at Pen and just go, "Yeah, eat up. Lord knows you're not gonna get anything out here."
Peck.
And then I'm gonna what's the roll to shift? Is it stamina and primal urge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna shift to go Hamid.
Alright.
And I have shape-shifting as a specialty, just as a reminder.
Yep.
So that's 6 dice. 6. Whoop, not 65. That would be 7. Specialty. Shape-shifting. 3.
Right. And you are able to switch with these. Alright. So. You all eventually make your way back into back to the general campsite area. Kult and Thomas with evidence that there was some form of violence that went on in the camp, and even maybe something a bit more deep. And Kult and Pen, who are you again? Pen and Ramsey making a new friend, who may or may not be what they are presenting as. You all get together. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Pen is, or when Pen shifted back, she would have suggested that we make camp because it's getting dark anyway.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, then Ramsey would have gotten that started.
Yeah. So when the other two show up, I imagine that it's Pen and Ramsey sitting beside the fire, and Pen's got the pigeon perched on her knee. And is taking some of those crackers that Ramsey provided and breaking them up into smaller pieces and handing them off to the bird every so often while they talk.
Pen. No, I mean, we found a pen.
Oh.
And he kind of looks at Thomas with that. He also pulls out a letter as well.
You immediately thought about that joke the moment you saw that pen, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Anyway, the pen's also a dongle. It might have information on it, or might unlock something. Who knows?
What's a dongle?
It's something for. I'm guessing this holds information that needs a computer to access it.
Oh, well, she'll kind of blink after a moment and realize that she never asked if the pigeon had a name, because animals don't typically concern themselves with that much all that much. And she'll look down at the pigeon and make some cooing noises in the back of her throat. Do you have a name?
Master called me Henry.
Henry. It's nice to meet you, Henry.
It is nice to meet you too, bird lady.
I'm Pen.
Pen.
And that one, she'll point at Ramsey, is Ramsey? Oh.
Ramsey.
The one you shit on is Kult?
No, that's his bathroom.
Why are you laughing? What did you say?
I'm not gonna tell him that you call him that. He'll get annoyed. And that one over there is Thomas.
Damn.
I imagine that the bird is a little wary of Thomas, since Thomas has the predator flaw.
Yeah, he's given you. If pigeons could give the side eye, you suspect that that's what he's kind of given you.
Yeah.
Definitely sticking closer to the guy who's been feeding him.
Makes sense.
And to kind of test the waters, because it is universally known that pigeons are assholes. He'll once in a while, to test the waters and see what happens, will just approach Kult. Malicious intent.
Does Kult see this?
And is watching very closely.
You see the bird approaching you. Whether or not you can tell that it's filled with malicious intent, it is up to you.
Is gonna reach into his bag and take out some crackers or some bread and put it in his arm and put it down towards the pigeon.
This is Henry. Henry was trained by the man we're looking for. But he hasn't seen him in 3 days.
Does he go in for the food?
Give me a charisma animal, animal Ken.
Okay. I will willpower that.
Sure thing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So 1 automatic success.
This bird's about to shit in my mouth. Oh my god. Okay. 2 successes.
Yeah. He will reach down.
As soon as he reaches down, Kult just takes the food and shoves it in his mouth and begins to eat it in front of him.
All right, and then at that point, the bird, Penn can tell the bird's a little miffed, so he turns around, and leaves you a little present right on your shoe, as a thank you for taking his food away from him.
Hey, you started that one. That was on you.
I started it. He took a shit on me. He started the war.
And you retaliated.
I'm just saying, I'm getting a little hungry, and we have KFC right here. That's all I'm saying.
Gross.
And Penn will growl audibly at Kult at that.
It was a joke. For now.
But
It's
she'll
just
like,
Directly at Kult.
she'll put her hand out for Henry to hop into, and she'll give him another like little piece of a cracker. She's trying to be wary of overfeeding him because she doesn't want him to get sick. Because pigeons will just eat until they throw up.
Oh yeah. You can
So-
tell right now his absolute favorites are you and Ramsey. He's loving it. He might use Kult as the walking poop collector from now on, and doesn't quite understand Thomas. And it just kind of like picking up on body language. Penn and Ramsey can kind of tell that like you two are probably going to be the ones that this one stays around.
In the meantime, instead of threatening a fucking pigeon, soup's on. And he gestures to the fire, and it's like it's like the camp equivalent of Salisbury steaks and some vegetables to keep us going.
In that time, Kult will pass around the letter for everyone to read. How much money was there, by the way?
It looked like that there was like $100 in the envelope.
He'll just hold it out and say, any of you want this Monopoly money?
If there's what's left of that guy's scent on it, maybe Penthesilea could follow it.
Hands it
Penn
over
will
to-
hold out a hand for it, and I'll take a sniff. I imagine it probably smells like a lot of people because it's money.
But like maybe a more recent scent would be stronger.
Yeah.
Oh,
You instantly pick up on Kult smell. And it's the smell of you have that same masculine scent mixed in with like a couple of like different things like feminine perfume, like dirt. It's American money. It's dirty. There's a lot of people who got their little grimy hands on it.
It's cocaine in it.
No. That's in the lace trimmings. Thank you very much.
Shit, you're right.
The problem with trying to pick up a cent with money is because it's passed around so often. But you do around the same time that you kind of like sniff the money and pull back after like a minute or so. Your nose does catch on to one more thing. And this is my bad. I meant to give this to you earlier. That smell's also in the tent.
Okay.
You pop into the tent that was already in there, or the tent that was yeah, okay.
She'll go. Like I didn't recognize that the tent was still there. I thought you were just saying there were markings from where a tent had been, but yeah, no, if the tent is still there, she'll go in and check it out.
Okay, yeah, it was like an abandoned tent. Like I said, this camp looks like that there was somebody there, tried to pack up a bunch of stuff, and then like the rest of it kind of looked abandoned. But you walk into the tent, and the first thing that you can find is a bottle with half of that smell in it. So it's like half a bottle of men's cologne. Some other basic supplies like extra blankets, bug spray, things that don't necessarily matter to you guys, but would for the normal person. You also find in there some really interesting equipment. Some of them being books, pieces of wood that have like small carvings, intricate little designs on them. A couple of what you would think are stakes, just long pointed pieces of wood, and a book that is written in a language which I believe you're not familiar with, but it appears to be written in some form of like Latin or something kind of equivalent to it.
Okay. Well, she'll take the book out and the sketches to show everybody. Can I? So I have the natural linguist merit.
Okay.
Can I like make a roll to try and more concretely identify the language? Might make it easier for us to try and like, I don't know, figure out what the fuck it says and decipher it. Yeah.
I'll allow you to make me an intelligence. I'll let you have your pick of either academics or investigation.
That's investigation. I don't have any academics because I'm a wolf. I haven't been at this long enough to have gone to school.
In all forms but physical, I am a wolf.
Yeah.
Does creative logic apply?
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Trying to kind of figure out what it is.
Difficulty?
This is a language that you wouldn't know in particular. So we're gonna do it at a difficulty of 8.
Okay, difficulty of 8.
and you will need at least 3 successes.
Okay. Well, I get 3 extra dice from my merit. And we're about to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll burn a willpower too.
Remember, you all got 1 free temporary willpower for a recap.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Well, then I'll put that willpower back. That was 5 successes.
Okay. You have seen this language in your time traveling and helping women kind of get reformed. It is an old language, but it's not Latin. You can tell that a lot of the just like the formation of like the lettering and the placement of everything, you can tell that this is Arabic.
Oh. She'll kind of frown a little bit at that, because this is a weird language to find in this part of the world. I don't suppose any of you speak Arabic.
I know, like, hello, goodbye, and friendly. Only the basics that I was taught in, well, basic training.
Let me see that real quick.
I will hand it over.
ST, you let me know if this is possible and if I can do this. But I would like to just open my phone, open an app, and just like put the camera on and have it just translated.
You are in the middle of the Amazon rainforest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't have signal out here right now, so I barely had signal back in the village, so we're
No, I meant like would I have already like downloaded an app that can do that for me?
Most of those apps rely on data.
Yeah, they have to be
Pull back
connected.
information.
Anyway, let's pass it off to Ramsey.
Sorry, can I see that for a second, Colt?
I'm moving along.
It's not exactly my specialty, but I may have someone around who can help. ST, can I draw on the power of my ancestors?
Of course you can.
Yeah, I have. If somebody's like played this game 3 times, I don't know how this works. I have 5 dots. Is there a way I could focus into them and call them in to help me? I'm not sure how that would work.
Yes. Let me just pull up your sheet again.
It's the only thing I put into my background.
Let's ask the chicken if he can read it.
You want to ask the you sure you want to ask the pigeon after you just took away his food?
I'll kick the chicken.
Kicks you back. Which is a funny image in my head now. Let me pull that up. Right, I believe you have how many dots in you have
I have 5 dots.
5 dots. Got it. Alright. I'm just gonna look into something. You guys can continue to speak while I just look at the ruling for that.
So vampire hunter.
What now?
He's equipped to hunt them, yeah.
So not someone here for nature. Well, maybe not only for nature.
We don't know. What Henry said is that he was taken by something big, and it seemed furry, but not furry like me and Lupus for him. And it had pointy teeth.
Well, there aren't a lot of things like that out here. Well, actually, there are, but
I mean,
not
I
that
would
big.
assume that it was just one of us in Krynos, but
What color fur was it?
white.
Not a black spiral dancer then.
ST,
Yes.
would any of us have ever heard of a gangrel?
Or understand
any-
leeches enough to know that term.
Yeah, I would say,
Would someone with a cult be able to make a roll?
yeah. If you have dots in a cult, I will allow you to make an intelligence and occult roll.
Alrighty. Would my specialty in lateral thinking come into play?
Or creative logic?
Oh my god. Creatively thinking of the vampire. I'll say if you have a specialty in intelligence, no matter what it is, I'll let you have it. I'll be nice. I'll be nice to you before I
What's the
destroy
difficulty?
you. 6. Standard.
3 successes.
Okay.
2.
Do I get anything because I rolled 10, 10, 10?
No, you don't have a
Not much of a
specialty.
specialty.
Do you have a specialty?
In a cult, I do.
What's your occult specialty?
Black spiral dancers. So maybe not.
No.
Okay.
So we have a 3, a 2, and another 3. I will get back to you guys in one moment. There it is. All right, Ramsey.
Yes.
You know, in order to contact your ancestors, you need to allow yourself to be in a state. Allowing yourself to open up to not necessarily the shroud, but to allow your senses to be welcoming of those who are in your past. Eventually, you connect to you're able to make a connection, and a voice consumes your thoughts. What is it, child?
I wish to aid my compatriots in the reading of this. It is beyond my abilities, but I had hoped you'd be able to assist me in this matter.
Your ancestor begins to settle in, and it's a warm sensation, something that you are very familiar with. To see, you must open your eyes. Do you give this entity permission to kind of look through your eyes?
he does.
You go.
I was gonna say, it's like I kind of feel like he's been like absolutely quiet while they're all talking, and then all of a sudden his eyes just kind of like open up, and they're just like a very like they're glowing a very dark green.
So the three of you see Ramsey go quiet, and when his eyes open, they are this dark green. There are no irises. There's no other pigmentation. Not even white. It is straight dark green, and he looks down to the book. It is old magic. Incantations and spells from years and years of fine-tuned and research. This does not belong to us. It is druidic in nature. How did you get your hands on Magic Boy?
They found it at a separate location and came upon us by happenstance. We were not seeking it. We just wish to understand those who would wish to use it.
You must be very careful. This book, it is filled with magic that could turn even the coldest tundras into pits of fire and chaos. Just as it can build life into the world around you. Life and death come hand in hand with forces of nature.
They will proceed with caution. May I ask for further guidance if it becomes too much for us?
We can try to do what we can. There is no guarantee. You are a warrior child. I hope that there are no problems that require our assistance if you are to dig yourself into a hole.
As always, I thank you for your assistance and for watching over me and those I wish to protect.
Very well. And as you feel that force, that whisper that was at first clouding your senses pull away, for a moment that warmth lingers, and you feel, even though they are not allowing contact anymore, that they are still watching over you. That warmth is then greeted by just a touch of bitterness and frost. Before you return to normal and your eyes go back to their normal shades of brown.
Haven't done that in a while.
What was that?
He looks over a pen, gives a small smile. I can't cross over as easily as the rest of everybody else. I don't have that kind of connection to the world, but I do have a deep connection to my ancestors. Long may they watch over us. And at times where I need guidance or can't figure anything out because he actually like smile. You see him like actually smile for the first time. I'm not necessarily the brightest at a lot of things. They give me advice on certain situations that are too much for me. This book is old druidic magic. It's powerful. It's something we shouldn't mess with, and they were concerned that we had it in the first place. Such things should be lost to time or buried under mountains of rubble, if anything. So to find it in the hearts of the Amazon is not a good sign.
That's great.
But it is...
Say
Go ahead.
what the magic inside does or can do?
We're in the Amazon, yes? With this book, I could turn it into the Sahara. Or the Andes.
So it
It could destroy or very well give life all in the same instance.
Fundamentally terraform the place.
Well, that's just how powerful the magic is. What the magic does to its exact degree, I am not sure. It is fortunate that we found it before anybody else, but that also means whoever brought it here may have more books like it. Or, and I don't want to think this, they took exactly what they needed and they don't need it anymore. But I think that he'll hold the book over to Pen. You have a stronger connection with this sort of thing than I do.
Pen takes it very carefully, but she's also kind of eyeing it curiously. Because she did just sort of have a vision about a bunch of stuff burning, so she's like, mayhaps they could be related.
That was a very good find, you two.
I mean, if we think it's that dangerous, maybe we just burn the bloody thing.
We shouldn't burn history of other people's.
I also don't generally want to try and destroy potentially highly magical object. It never goes the way you think it will.
Also, not to change the subject, but we are in the Amazon and we have been sweating through our clothes a lot, so he will pull out 4 very large multivitamins from the survival pack and hand one to everybody. Make sure to eat this before you go to bed.
Thank you.
Damn, it's not a Flintstone gummy.
Cheers.
What is a flintstone? Like the thing
God.
to sharpen blades?
Don't worry about it.
How could they be gummy?
Like I said, don't worry about it.
My folks who rolled their intelligence and occult rolls, all of you managed to kind of like put your heads together. You can tell that that Henry the Pigeon is definitely talking about a werewolf. Not a werewolf. Oh my god. A vampire.
He's talking about a Hodebear.
Talking about that stroke that I just had. He is definitely talking about a vampire. The long pointed teeth, the white kind of fur, kind of not. Thomas and Kult, you guys have been in civilization pretty much your entire lives. You know
From the society. Sorry. Sorry, it just happened.
You can see the bottom text written all over you.
God damn it.
But you two have lived in civilization pretty much your entire lives. You are very aware of what gangrel are capable of. They are as close to you as they will get. They being the bloodsuckers. You are aware that some of them have transformative powers that can kind of shapeshift into their animal of choice. How they do it, maybe it has something to do with the type of situation you all have. Maybe not. It's a little bit difficult to tell. But you guys know that hairy, pointed teeth, big guy could very much be a very beefy gangrel.
Henry did say that Tim could grow trees like that. And she'll snap her fingers. This is probably how he was doing it.
You think he's a reality warper?
Maybe. I think you need to be that or similar. Some other supernatural thing to have magic that can do that.
I think back when I was starting to learn the ropes of this thing, I heard that I know about reality warpers, but I also heard that there are some that just do like rituals, a lot of burning incense and like making sigils and grounds and such that don't cause as big a problem. Maybe something like that.
I don't know if he's out here literally growing trees in the blink of an eye. I don't think he'd be a dabbler like what you're describing.
Need to consider the fact that it is a pigeon, and even the smallest thing could be blown out of proportion. No offense.
Perhaps, but I don't know. A tree growing? It's not. If he says it's the blink of an eye, I'm inclined to believe him because they don't grow fast enough that you can see it most times. I'm gonna look over at Henry and I'm gonna hold up the book. Did Tim use this when he made the trees grow?
Yes. Used to communicate with me. Used to make tree and hot pit. Kind of nudges over to the fire pit.
Look back at the others. He was definitely using this. This is how he talked to Henry and trained him. And apparently how he made fire. So, pretty good chance he's a magic user.
And then, of course, when he got caught without it, that would make it easier for the leech to grab him.
Him, Master, use book to stop construction zone. As he said.
Look at the others. Says that he used the book to stop a construction zone.
So maybe he's with the others then. At that site. If he's still alive at all.
It's a big if, but if we could get him free, get his book back to him, maybe he could help us out.
It'd be a substantial help, I suspect. She'll look back. She'll look over at Henry. Do you know where the construction site is?
You see him look up, and he shoots up in the air, flies about 50 feet, hoping that somebody will follow him, and he'll land on a patch that you guys had passed on the way, the part that looked like torn down, and kind of like there was already something like tearing away at it. Here. He grew a tree. And then he'll perch in a tall, just kind of like a tall, like just branch and look down.
Can I take a closer look at the tree?
Yeah.
See if there's anything that makes it stand out, anything particularly unusual that could be helpful to us.
Yeah, definitely. You look around the tree and you kind of give it an up and down. How many dots of occult do you have?
3.
Okay.
3.
So I'll give this to you for free then, because you would know to pick up on stuff like this. There are ripples, and like the mortal eye would not be able to see this. You guys are a little bit better with your perception, but there are small ripples of light, green light, keeping this tree up and alive.
Okay. So given that this is a fairly potent source of magical energy, or site of magical energy, is it safe to say that there would usually be spirits hanging around? Like they'd be drawn in by this?
It might be worthwhile to poke about and see.
I would like to poke out and see.
Okay. Go ahead. Let me take a look. There we go. And how about would you like to go through this?
Well, first I'd like to just have a look, because some spirits can, like, attach themselves to physical forms.
Right.
And if I can avoid... I do have spirit speech and all that, so...
Yes. There doesn't seem to be any lingering around here.
Okay.
But considering who you are and what and everything that you have been through,
yeah,
and
I do
just
have 5 dots in spirit heritage and spirit magnet too, so
yes. I will say there's none that are directly near this tree right now, but you're able to get the feeling that there at one point was some form of spiritual presence. Whether that is a ghost or something else is a little bit difficult to tell. But there are spiritual. There's lingering of like some form of presence that wouldn't be seen by the naked eye.
Okay. Did anybody else come with me?
Ramsey would have.
She's gonna look over at Ramsey and kind of chew her lower lip.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that there's a particular kind of trip that we could consider taking. That might be helpful, but could also be dangerous. And she, like, tugs a long, thin, not actual silver, but, like, silver-colored chain from inside of her shirt. And on the bottom of it is a small, round, like, mirror.
I don't think that's a good idea.
The kind of magic that this is putting off, it should be drawing more spirits to it than I can find around here, but I can tell that there's been some, and it makes me wonder if maybe they are here, but they're on the other side. And I can't talk to them if I'm here.
I just feel like there's a lot of new players in this game, and we have a very dangerous book about 10 yards that way.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't have still don't have a location on where he could be. I mean, if we
know that they were trying to build here. She'll kind of pat the tree. This is what he made where they were trying to build.
Not as good as projecting on that side as I am. This one is my main concern.
And this, and she'll kind of she'll like reach out and very gently take one of his hands and kind of like guide it towards where the flowing green energy is. To make it like a little bit easier for him to like feel it, because he probably isn't as sensitive to being able to see it.
You put your hand on it. Ramsey, the moment that your hand touches the wood, I need you to roll me.
Oh no.
We'll go stamina.
Yep.
And give me a stamina. And
survival? Enigma?
Primal Urge?
We'll do Primal Urge.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, cool.
What is this for exactly?
I'm in danger.
Well, because my hand is on yours, so...
Oh, you're gonna be fine. I think. That's... Boop. And hitting it.
I keep using hunters. Hunter dice.
I don't know which one, and so...
It's slash dice roll.
Oh.
Dice space roll.
My god.
Cool. I'm gonna do that again. All right. Pool, and then what's the difficulty?
Standard.
That's
6.
6. Okay. Try it again. Woo.
I'll take that one. That one's better. I like that one. That one's cool.
Okay. As you touch that line of pure magic, your hand begins to burn. It's warm at first, but as you kind of rub your hand down it, the more you put your hand down, the hotter it feels. It's not physically burning you, but you can feel the heat begin to almost boil your blood. The hotter that it gets. You're able to hold on though, but it's now to the point where Pen can begin to feel that heat radiating from your hand.
Yeah, I'm pulling it back, like, because I didn't expect that, because normally something like that happens, it would take down the tree too. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... Are you still holding his hand?
Well, yeah, because she pulled it back.
Yeah,
and is now, like, turning his hand over and, like, looking at it closely, because, you know, her own hands are starting to glow with a different shade of green. Like, she's like, do I need to heal you? Are you okay? What's happening?
Nope, he looks perfectly fine. But
that was your way to convince me that we should do this.
I didn't know it was going to do that.
Listen, before it was dangerous. Now it's just a logical thing to do in our situation. We're too far away from anything, and there's only the four of us.
The fact that we're far
I
away
want
from things is what makes it easier to get over, but I understand.
I have a dumb idea.
Dumber than mine.
that's how every wonderful story starts.
Couple of dumb ideas and the rest was history.
Yep. Because I'm out of good ideas.
Could we... No. No, I was thinking about trying to read something from the book to see if we could affect the tree in some way.
Don't speak that language. And given how you've reacted to that, I'm not sure that you should try.
You know what? Okay. Next idea. Let's get some fucking sleep. And see what the pigeon knows in the morning.
Okay. I can agree with that.
I don't mind being a test dummy, but next time.
I wasn't trying to use you as a test dummy. I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm kidding. Most things have happened.
Come on, Henry.
While this was happening, Kult and Thomas, was there anything that either one of you two wanted to do?
I have a silly idea.
Of course. We have smart, dumb, and silly today. I'm very excited.
Because I am a little bit paranoid, I'm going to try to activate plug and play with my phone to see if I can't detect any other devices nearby.
Plug and play to detect any to detect other pieces of technology nearby?
Yes, anything that would stand out, like cameras or maybe like a hidden computer to go with this dongle that I found, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Intelligence and technology roll.
Yep, intelligence technology. After I spend 1 willpower point, which I shall go ahead and do. These come into play because I have specialties in computers and security technology. Standard difficulty, I'm guessing?
Yes, sir. Two, three, four, 5 successes, which is wonderful. Okay. You, my friend, managed to find that after kind of focusing all of your attention on trying to figure out if there's anything around, I assume that you were like tapping away at your phone because Glasswalker.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You managed to pick up that there are you pick up on 3 things. And after poking around, you and Kult actually managed to find them together. There is a camera, which has no battery left in it, but it does have the SD card still attached. That was hiding up in one of the trees. And you also managed to find a busted down like Mac laptop from the first generation of them. It's
Jesus.
old, it's bulky, but the only thing that's protecting you from it is a pin. And then you also find a dead burner phone.
Now, this might be a stupid question, but any way you can hotwire this using the phone batteries, maybe?
I can probably finagle something. I just need a little bit of time.
Fair enough.
And I think that will be his project for the night, is using the phone, the portable chargers to get some juice into these various machines so he can at least work with them, see what's on them, like figure things out and maybe find something that they can use. Like
Okay.
to put faces to get more details on like faces, names and such like that.
Sure. So you're gonna spend kind of like the rest of the evening doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Kult.
Yes.
What do you want to spend your evening doing?
Kult's gonna just hold the letter that he found quite tightly, and after a bit, he's gonna start writing his own letter, and he'll even start sketching the pigeon on this letter as well, and that'll take up some time.
All right. Pen and Ramsey, you guys come back after having that moment with the tree, and Henry. Henry is just fully perched on Ramsey's shoulder. He likes to be tall. You
Actually-
have now become the pigeon carrying case.
Yeah. Actually, Ramsey will turn to Ben. Actually, can you do me a favor?
Depends on the favor.
I could use actual advice on how to cross to the other side, as it were. It wasn't really the focus of my training in the monasteries.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Most of my training was learning how to harness the anger properly, not waste it.
She'll kind of like look him over. She kind of frowns a little bit. You ever consider the fact that you don't go to the Umbra might be part of why you struggle to socialize? Like, I'm not very social with people, and you're even quieter than I am. And
it mostly comes from we didn't talk much up there.
Right, so being able to, like, going there is, it's important to what we are. And if you spend too long here without going there, or vice versa, it starts to chip away at you. It wears down parts of you. We're both body and spirit as creatures. And I'm wondering if it makes it harder for you because you haven't been there as often as you probably should have been.
They understood that for them the spirit was fueled by the rage. And if you harness that rage and focus it into your own mental toughness, it would forge into your physical toughness, allowing us to take down the evils of this plane easier. And that was their focus. Everyone else can worry about the spiritual side, but their main goal was on this one.
They were woefully ill-informed.
At least that sect was. The other stargazers, they pushed them to one side a long time ago. Unfortunately, me and my brother were caught up in the moment, as it were. They saw how much anger we had and utilized it very quickly.
I'm happy to teach you. I think it'll do you some good.
I appreciate it. I can socialize. It's just
you just don't seem to like to. Like, you're not comfortable with it, which I understand. I'm not either.
Yeah. Yeah, Alistair was the talkative one. He reminds me of Kult, actually.
I can't say I've ever met anybody like Kult, not among our kind. I meet humans with that kind of personality sometimes, though.
Oh, he was less of a prat, but he's a lot like Kult. The Kult means well. I can see that.
Yeah, I think so.
But first, get some sleep.
Before we settle into sleep, I think she'll actually take Ramsey through learning the particular kind of meditating that has to happen before you can step sideways, just without the mirror involved. Like, she's trying to help him condition his mind and also get him to that also helps you sleep, meditation. So she's just like, two birds.
You dots and gnosis, y'all. Let's go.
Two birds. Henry looks at you.
She doesn't actually say that. She's not going to make that kind of comment around the bird.
All right. So, you all, after doing your various activities for the night, settle in for a good night's sleep. The computer thing, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time. Those batteries aren't the most powerful. So transferring, so kind of makeshifting access is going to take probably over time. But you all settle in and get a good night's sleep. The stars are twinkling as the sky is clear. The heat is brought down just a little, and you can feel a warm and welcoming wind glide through your hair as you all settle in. As you feel yourselves gently wake up in the morning, you're met with that thick air again. And this time it's heavier than usual. You look over and you see that tree with the lines of magic is caught on fire. Who had the book when you all went to bed?
Damn it.
Me. I was told I should be the one to hang on to it, so Penn's the one who's got it.
Okay.
I'm sure this is only going to go well.
You open your eyes, and once you see that tree is burning, it startles you for a moment, but the book is open, and it's turned to a page. You couldn't read the text yesterday. But when you look down, you see that Arabic again. But this time, the title of one of the pages in the book is in plain English. And it is called Nature's Wrath. And that is where we're going to end it today.
Oh boy.
Oh.